Alright, so I've once again started taking apart the part I'm replacing without actually taking apart, starting a video. So you can see that this is already loose, this is not seated anymore. So first thing you're going to want to do if you're replacing your tie rod, take a big pair of pliers or something and break this nut free right here. Now this tie rod, the outer end, we want to twist a little bit, but it can't move since it's still pivoted in here. So it'll rotate a little back and forth, but you can break this nut free. So you can see I have it loose already. Once you break that free, you'll want to take off the cotter pin that's holding this nut on. You can see the other side has the pin through it. So just take a pair of pliers or something, grab it, twist it, break it off, whatever you have to do. Then loosen up your castle nut. Mine was, on this Ranger, it's a 22. So once you have that all the way off, you'll be sitting like this. This will be seated down a little bit. Then what you want to do is take your old nut, put it back on. And this gives you a nice wider platform to bang a hammer into or something, than just the tie rod end stud. So put that on, take your hammer, smack it up into it. So I've already done that. So once you have that loose, take that off, and then this will be free. So I'll hammer that up the rest of the way. Now it took a few big whacks on here to actually get it unseated, but once it's unseated, pretty simple from there. And then from there, make sure that you had this loose first, otherwise now you have to hold this piece, and it's just a lot harder to take this off once this is out. So try and press this up as tight as you can against here, because when you put the new piece on, you want to try to get it back into this exact position, so that way when you drive to go get an alignment, it's not pulling too bad. So we got this nut up against this, not super tight, but just snug against it, and then we're going to go count the rotations. So there's 1, 2, just count however many get you to the end, so that way when you put the new one on, you can count the new ones on, and then it should be in a pretty similar position. Alright, so my old one was 20.5 threads, so I started this one upside down, since that'd be starting at the halfway point, and I'm up to 3 right now, so 4, 5, so I'll do all that, all the way up to 20, get it right up against that, and put that back in place and snug this up. Alright, so I've got that snug up against the nut. It was exactly 20.5, so then I just tap this part lightly with the hammer to seat it down some more. So we're gonna go ahead and start our new castle nut on. So we'll do that, tighten it up as tight as we can get until a hole is poking through, so you can see the cotter pin. I'm not sure if you can see it. Actually, yeah. So right there you can kind of see that light coming through. So once we tighten it with the ratchet, we need to make sure that we can still see that light coming through to put the new pin in. Alright, so I got the new nut on, tightened it all the way as I could, and then pulled it back about 1/8 of a turn, just that way this could line up. And you're going to want to put this through from the front of the vehicle, so that way whenever you're driving, if somehow the back does come loose, it's less likely to come out, since if you're driving, all the wind's pushing it back. So I hope that makes sense. Just need to bend these pieces now, so that way it can't come loose, otherwise it'll just slide out right now. So we'll bend those up, and then we'll tighten this up and grease it. Alright, last and most important step is to make sure you grease your new tie rod fitting. So you can see, compared to the old one, I didn't really note it, but it's a lot thicker now in that this little disc here, that's where the grease all sits. So you can see it's starting to bulge out. It's pretty full now. If you don't know how to grease, or set your gun, set the cartridge, all that, look up a quick video on it. Pretty simple. But don't forget this step, otherwise that tie rod end is going to wear out very quickly. So hopefully this helped. You don't really have to get the vehicle off the ground unless maybe you got a smaller car or something, but yeah, it's pretty quick, pretty simple.